committee or one particular initiative, but comprehensively really look at the state of affairs of our citizens in Albany County, especially middle class.
Further questions for our candidate?
Yes, I have one question, and to all three, but particularly to Ms. Toffler. I'm concerned. I read in this morning's paper about the vote taken last night on redistricting and her position against a fifth minority district being created, and representing a district that is presently, I don't know what the census says, probably 50% minority or 48% minority, and other districts around you that are 50 or 60% minority. I don't understand your position against a fifth minority district, and I'd like to hear from the other candidates as well about their position on that.
Well, first of all, my position was not against it, as against taking a fifth minority district. 10 years ago, when the census was drawn, the 4th district was not as it is at all today. And the minority community saw the need for these district lines to be changed. So indeed, we held one election, we were elected, and then this went to court, and new district lines were drawn. Those district lines are the lines that I voted to keep, as opposed to voting against. The reason was that, well, first of all, I would like to say it was one of the hardest votes I ever had to take. It was awful. It was awful. And I was back and forth. But anyway, ultimately, I did vote for the proposed district lines that were drawn by the committee, which had minority representation, by the way, on the committee. Anyway, to get back to 10 years ago, so the district was drawn, and it really, one of the big criticisms that was brought out to the floor about getting the fifth minority district, one of the big criticisms was, it also came from the hill towns, was the changing of the communities, was the moving away from that neighborhood feel, which is what the 4th district was prior to the first minority-majority redistricting. Now, as you all know, you're here. This district is spreads across from Arbor Hill to Bishopsgate. Vastly different. It took away any of that neighborhood feel and community. The people who drew those lines 10 years ago were the same people who were complaining about those lines that they drew. It was Mr. Mayor sat on the commission.
But didn't population have something to do with?
Yes, it did.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that the real thing that's driving?
That was the principle of it.
Absolutely.
That was the principle of the whole thing.
And right now, the districts went from this district, the current 4th district, if you go with the old population numbers, was I think something like 68.9%, or I'm not sure. And then it did move up to 72 point something, or 76. And that's what the criticism is, that the districts, as 4 districts, have put too many minorities in the 4th districts, and they wanted a 5th district, but everything that I was hearing not everything I was hearing, much of what I was hearing in caucus was that 5th district kind of strangely pulled in, and it was a very, very horrible, confusing thing. As Mr. Dixon said, it's not cut in stone, and whatever will be, will be. I was not voting against a 5th minority district. I was voting to keep the districts as they were, because I was just not wanting to see the dissolution and the confusion and the running again and of everyone, and the confusion among the voters. You would have an election now and then turn around and have a different election with different people representing you, and so that's where we stand. And I personally felt that what will will come, and I will respect any decree that comes down, and because this is not something that's cut in stone.